So in this video I'm just going to do a bunch of little clips and tie them all together so that way it cuts out the time of waiting while things are cooking and stuff. But I just wanted to show, like many days, I get really busy during the day. I have 4 kids and I am, trying to run a business from home and keep a civilized, clean, organized home with happy children. And that takes up a lot of time. So a lot of times I get really busy during the day and I forget to take my meat out in a time where things can defrost. As you can see, this is frozen. Tonight, the quick cooker is going to be my best friend. You'll see as things go on why and how. Okay, so I've chopped up that meat, which is pretty much frozen. It's just lightly thawed on the outer edges, but the majority of it is still frozen. So I'm going to cook this meat from frozen to perfectly cooked in no time. And it's going to come out amazingly delicious. I put in about 2 tablespoons of butter and about 2 tablespoons of oil. I use olive oil. Just so that I've learned a trick a long time ago about a little bit of oil with the butter. Makes it so that your butter doesn't burn. So that's pretty much the purpose of that. And that'll coat the meat and give it a nice browning. So now I'm going to come here on my settings. And I'm going to put this to sear. Okay, see how sear lights up? And I'm going to start that. Press start. So now it says 20 minutes, but if it gets to the browning that I like before then, all I got to do is hit the X to cancel and then go on to the next stage. So I'm going to let that sear up and then I'll come back. While my meat is searing, I'm going to chop up this onion and garlic. So my meat's already got some browning happening, and from the juice and a little bit of oil and butter, it's making its own broth already. So I'm going to add the onions and garlic that I chopped into the meat, to my steak. Okay, now I'm going to add a chicken bouillon packet. I'm going to add 3 bay leaves. I'm going to add some kosher salt. This is a recipe that I usually do in like a Dutch oven on the stove. I've never tried it in the quick cooker before, but I figured I'm going to give it a shot and see how it comes out. I'm going to pour some red wine in here. Oh, that was heavy. Okay, now I'm going to put the lid on. And that's locked in place. Oops. Sorry for the dizzy filming. And I'm going to stop that. And then turn this to beef pork setting. Hit start. And we're going to start pressure cooking this recipe. So this just beeped that it's done. And I'm going to press this button to release the steam. As you can see, the little red button over here shows that it's still under pressure. When that button drops, you know all the pressure is out. My lid is locked, and it's just going into warming mode. If for some reason you can't get to your food quick enough, it'll just automatically go to warm mode. You can smell the meat. You can almost tell how it's going to taste just by how good it smells. And I'm just going to hold this button down now so it pushes that up a little bit further, just to make this faster. You can tell by the sound the pressure's almost all the way out, and you can see the red dot starting to, the red button starting to go down. So the pressure's almost completely out. When that red button drops, it'll no longer be under pressure and we can open this up safely. Boom, it's done. Now, of course, you're still going to see a little bit of steam coming out. The food's hot, it just cooked. So now I'm going to pause this video. Well, as you can see, I just unlocked the lid. And now I'm going to pause this video so I can pull my meat out. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that broth look amazing? So I'm going to pull this out, put it on a plate, and then I'll unpause it and show you how it looks. Look how fabulous this looks. So juicy. Those garlics, soft and tender. Onions, translucent, cooked perfectly. How tender this is. I mean, the fork is just like dropping through it quickly because it's so soft it falls apart. Perfectly cooked from frozen to cooked tender beautifully. Because I seared the meat first, it took a little longer. It depends on how you do your cooking process. Some people don't like to sear their meat first. I like to sear it so it gets a nice brown on the outside. And so I spent 20 minutes searing and about 30 minutes under pressure cooking. Because I wanted to make sure this was all thoroughly cooked. And because I'm cooking with wine, you want the alcohol to cook out. I want those onions and everything come out nice and tender like that. And this dish is delicious. And if you like the Portuguese pops, you dip that in that broth. Oh, so good. So good. I can't even say how good. So look how beautiful that came out. Pampered Chef Quick Cooker. It's like the best thing that ever met my kitchen. I love it. Go to Cooking with Mama Mello on Facebook. Join my YouTube page. Like and subscribe to my videos to see more. I hope to make many, many, many more videos, and I'll get better and better at it as I do. And I'm going to enjoy this. Happy eating. Happy cooking. Good night, all.